Okay, so the referees have just blown their first whistle for the Bay City Rollers versus the Sulphur City team. Just trying to see who's out there skating. It looks like we've got Nuclear out there for the Sulphur City. Okay, just trying to see jammer numbers actually out there at the moment. It looks like we've got Sweetie Pig out there for the Bay City Rollers. Against Kanklebiter out there for Sulphur City, and Kanklebiter, she is your lead jammer. Oh, Sweetie Pig gone out to the penalty box. So Kanklebiter on track all on her own. And Sweetie Pig making her way back on track again now, letting the girls know that she's there definitely. So I'm just trying to see jammer numbers here. I can't actually see what the numbers were. Oh, it looks like this panel beat her for Sulphur City. And Grim Sleeper for Bay City Rollers. So just trying to see jammer's numbers as they go past me here. Looks like we've got Blonde Slambition out there for Bay City Rollers. And Nuclear out there for Sulphur City. And Sulphur City is lead jammer. Sulphur City taking advantage of being a lead jammer and calling off the jam at the end of that one. Okay, so looking like we've got Kenkle Biter out there for Sulphur City, coming up against Crash Bambicoot for Bay City Rollers. And Kenkle Biter pushing forward. She is your lead jammer. Looks like Bambi getting recycled back to the back of the pack again. So still on her initial there, Bambi. But Kenkle Biter being held at the back of the pack just at the moment on her point scoring round. Not able to make it, but she calls it off. Just checking out jammer numbers out there. Looks like we've got Sweaty Pig out there for Bay City Rollers. I'm just trying to see who it is for Sulphur City. Looks like it might be Panel Beat here. And Panel Beater, she is the lead jammer out there. Both jammers completing their initial. So Panel Beater taking advantage of the fact that she is lead jammer and calling off the jam. Okay, jamming out this time, we've got Nuclear for Sulphur City, coming up against Boom Bunny from the Bay City Rollers. And Nuclear being called for cutting. So she's going to go out and sitting out there for her time in the penalty box. So Boom Bunny, she's got a chat. Oh no, she's... Looks like a little bit of confusion out there for the Bay City girls. Boom Bunny removing the star before she actually went out to the penalty box. So that's what you can see down in front of the bench managers there. So Nuclear, she is the only jammer on track at the moment. So Boom Bunny has been released from the penalty box. She is allowed to pick up that star now, and Drew to join at the back of the pack. So that is the end of that jam. It looks like we've got an official timeout just at the moment, so we'll be back to some more roller derby very, very, very shortly. Okay, so that is the end of the official timeout. I'm not too sure what it was actually about. They haven't actually told us much about that one just at the moment. But it looks like we've got Kenkelbiter out there for Sulphur City. And it looks like Grim Sleeper out there for Bay City Rollers. Kenkelbiter being called for a bit of cutting. She's going to go and sit out in the penalty box. So Grim Sleeper, she's taking advantage of the fact that she's the only jammer on track. She's getting those points on the board. She came up a bit against a bit of traffic out there this time, but no, she's been skating around to the penalty box by the looks of things. Grim being called that time. Going to go and sit out in the penalty box. So Kenkelbiter is back on track. And now making her way back onto track again, we've got Grim Sleeper. She's back on track again now and making her presence felt straight away. Okay, so it looks like we've got Crash Bambicoot coming straight out to the front of the pack there for the Bay City Rollers. Looks like it could be Nuclear out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers. But Bambi, she's already on her point scoring round. Straight through she goes. Nuclear still trying to complete her initial. And Bambi, a nice little apex jump there to be able to go through. This time Nuclear coming through for her point scoring round. And Bambi calling it off. Timeout being called by Sulphur City. So we'll be back to it very, very shortly. Okay, so back to some roller derby again now. So it looks like the girls are all setting up on track. Look, it looks like we've got Sweaty Pig out there for Bay City Rollers. Coming up against Cankle Biter for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. Cankle Biter been taken out to the outside track and called for cutting. So Cankle Biter going to go out and sit out in the penalty box. Sweaty Pig, she is the lead, is the jammer that's out there for Bay City Rollers. Only jammer on track at the moment. So in this power jam, she's doing a great job there of scoring some points. Looks like we've got a Cankle Biter coming back on track now after her timeout in the penalty box. So both jammers are approaching the back of the pack. So I was just looking into it, what was going on there. Looked like we had a pass the star from the Sulphur City team. Princess Di was the receiver of that star, and she was trying to be able to get through the pack. Unfortunately taken out over the sideline. Okay, jamming out there this time, we've got Grim Sleeper out there for Bay City Rollers, coming up against Panel Beta and out for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. Oh, and panel beater just taken to the outside track there. Both jammers being recycled back to the back of the pack. Looks like one of the jammers there for Bay City Rollers. She's gone out to the penalty box. So Grim Sleeper sitting out in the penalty box. So Power Jam here to panel beater. Just taken away slowly through the pack. But here comes Grim Sleeper. Oh, she's pushed out heavily out over the outside track. Panel beater in the meantime, making her way back to the back of the pack again. And looks like we've had her pass the star from the Bay City girls. Looks like we've got Blonde Slambition out there for Bay City Rollers. Coming up against Nuclear for Sulphur City. Blonde Slambition been recycled back to the back of the pack, but Nuclear, she's made her way to the front. She is your lead jammer in this jam. Nuclear calling it off. Okay, so looking like we've got intensive scare out there for Sulphur City. Steamrollers coming up against Crash Bandicoot. Oh, looks like Bambi's pushing hard. Oh, and some fancy footwork gets her through. Bambi is your lead jammer out there. And Bambi taking an outside track. She's got her way through, point scoring this time. Oh, she's got great footwork there, Bambi. And another point scoring pass. Looks like we've had a star pass there by the Sulphur City team. The pivot now has the star in her hand. Needs to be able to make a pass through before she can put it on. Bay City blockers working hard on her. And putting her out over the outside track, recycling her back to the back of the pack yet again. Oh, looks like Bambi's just resetting herself for a little bit more point scoring. Bay City working very hard on that pivot, not letting her through. And Nat Demon looking like she might have been called for that one. She's going to go and sit out in the penalty box. So a power jam coming up here for Bay City Rollers. So looks like Sweetie Pig is the jammer that's out there for the Bay City Rollers. And there's the gap for her. So this time round, and a nice pass on the outside, makes it look easy. There we go, point scoring on for it, Sweetie Pig there now. And here we have Nat Demon rejoining the pack again. She's still going to have to make her initial pass through. She's found the gap. However, Sweetie Pig calls it off. Okay, so this time out there we've got Blonde Slambition coming out for Bay City Rollers, coming up against Kenkelbiter for Sulphur City Steamrollers. And Kenkelbiter seeing the gap. She's jumped away right the way through to the big lead jammer on this jam. And Blonde Slambition going to be recycled right to the back of the pack. And Kenkelbiter making her way through. She's point scoring all the way around this time. Okay, and Blonde Slambition's made her way through the pack. She's actually put the panty back on her helmet. And Kenkelbiter calling it off. Okay, and jamming out there this time, we've got Grim Sleeper out there for the Bay City Rollers, coming up against Panel Beater for Sulphur City. Oh, and Panel Beater showing her why she's been able to given her a name. She's bouncing off everybody out there at the moment. She's done a great job of staying on her feet. Panel Beater, she is the lead jammer. And Panel Beater calling it off. Oh, looks like we've got Crash Bandicoot out there for Bay City Rollers. Come up against Nuclear for Sulphur City. And here goes Bambi. She is your lead jammer. Nuclear now completing her initial. Bambi coming through on her point scoring round and calling it off. So it looks like a timeout being called. So we'll be back to doing some more derby very, very shortly. Okay, looking like we've got Kenkelbiter out there for Sulphur City. Coming up against Sweetie Pig out there for Bay City Rollers. Oh, and Kenkelbiter working her way through. She is the lead jammer out in this jam. Sweetie Pig not far behind, so both jammers done their initial. And Kenkelbiter calling it off. Okay, this time out there we've got Grim Sleeper out there for the Bay City Rollers, coming up against Panel Beater for Sulphur City Steamrollers. Gap just closing up there on Grim Sleeper. Otherwise she would have been free, but having to work a little bit harder. This time she's through. She is your lead jammer. Panel Beater being recycled back to the back of the pack. This time Grim Sleeper. She's on point scoring round this time. Oh, and they pushed her out over the side of the track, recycling her all the way back to the back of the pack. Meanwhile, Sulphur City Panel Beater is still trying very, very hard to try and get through that black wall in front of her. Pushing as hard as she can go. So it looks like Grim Sleeper again has been taken out over the outside track. It's been recycled back to the back of the pack. Grim Sleeper being pushed out. No, she decided over to stay in track. And a star pass here by the Sulphur City Steamrollers. Okay, so that whistle indicating the end of the first half of that bout. So currently the points are Sulphur City sitting on 49 points. Bay City Rollers are sitting on 66 points. Okay, we're only 30 seconds away from being able to join back into our Bay City Rollers game against the Swamp City Steamrollers. So we won't be too far away. So this looking like it's getting set to be a really good jam. We've got Cankle Biter coming up for Sulphur City Steamrollers, coming up against Crash Bambicoot for the Bay City Rollers. Unfortunately, Bambi being called that time. She's going to go and sit out in the penalty box. Here's Cankle Biter. She's made her initial. She is your lead jammer. So Cankle Biter being recycled back to the back of the pack over the far side there. Meanwhile, we've got Bambi back on track. And Cankle Biter calling it off. Okay, it looks like we've got Sweaty Pig out there for Bay City Rollers, coming up against Panel Beater for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. And Sweaty Pig, she's made her way through. She is your lead jammer this jam. Panel Beater, she's got the star in her hand. She's been called out to the penalty box. So she's sitting out there for a wee while. Sweaty Pig, in the meantime, she is your jammer on track. Here we have Panel Beater rejoining the pack again, still with the star in her hand. So she's going to have to make her way through the pack before she can rejoin it and put that on again. And Piggy being recycled to the back of the pack. Panel Beater, she's made her way through. Here goes the star being put back on. No, it's actually past the star there. Got through, but she didn't quite get it back onto her helmet before the jam was called off. Okay, so jamming out there this time, we've got Nuclear out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers, coming up against Grim Sleeper for Bay City Rollers. Grim Sleeper coming out over the outside track, being recycled right to the back of the pack. Oh, looks like Nuclear gone out to sit out in the penalty box. So Grim Sleeper is the only jammer on track at the moment. Oh, and Grim Sleeper being called that time. So Nuclear being released back onto track. So Nuclear is the only jammer on track at the moment. So because we've got no lead jammer out there at the moment, this jam going to go for the full 2 minutes. Nuclear's come up against a big black wall in front of her there. Bay City holding her well. And here's Grim Sleeper. She's back on track. She's making her way through. Nuclear thinking she'd be able to call it off. Unfortunately, she can't do that. So Grim's been pushed out to the outside track, recycled all the way back to the back of the pack. So Grim, another passing through, scoring points as she goes. So and there is the whistle indicating the end of that 2 minute jam. Okay, jamming out there this time. I got Cankle Biter out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers. Coming up against Crash Bambicoot. Oh, Bambi taken out to the inside track, recycled right to the back of the pack. Both jammers pushing hard. Oh, there's the gap for Bambi. She's through. Bambi's got lead jammer, Cankle-Biter right on her tail. Oh, sorry, other way around. It was actual Cankle-Biter that had the lead jammer status. She did call it off. Okay, so we've got Blonde Slam Vision out there for Bay City Rollers, jumping straight through to the pack, in front of the pack. She's your lead jammer. Panel Beater is out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers. Although she's done a star pass, looks like Princess Di is now in charge of that star. And Blonde Slam Vision making her way through the packs, calling it off. Okay, so this time it's out there. It's Sweetie Pig for Bay City, Cankle Biter for Sulphur City. And Sweetie Pig taken out to the inside track, recycled right to the back of the pack again, but this time finding the gap. She's fast. She made her way through. She's your lead jammer. Cankle Biter not far behind though. And here comes Biggie. She's going to make her way through the pack and calling it off. Okay, so there's your jammers out there. We've got Crash Bandicoot out there for Bay City Rollers, coming up against Nuclear for Sulphur City Steamrollers. A little bit of a timeout being called there by the looks of that. So Sulphur City was calling the timeout for this one here. Won't be too far away, and we're back to some more roller derby. Okay, looks like we've had a change of jammer there by the Sulphur City Steamrollers. So Crash Bandicoot is coming out this time for Bay City, and we've actually got Cankle Biter out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers. Oh, Bambi making her way, look easy as she finds that gap. She is your lead jammer. Cankle Biter still working her way through that pack. Almost. But quick footwork, she's back on track again. Oh, and the Bay City girls caught her up, pushed her out over the sideline. So Bambi helping out her blockers, making them do some work on that jammer. So this time Cankle Biter through. And Bambi making her way through the pack. She calls it off. Looks like we've got an official review going on out in the centre of the track there. So the on-track MC is just letting us know that it's an official review that has been called by Sulphur City. I'm not actually too sure on the exact details that has gone on there, but we certainly will be able to try and find out as soon as we possibly can. Oh, and they've got a Mexican wave going around in the crowd around here. Look at this going around. I think this is the 4th time round so far. So the on-track MC is just letting us know that the Sulphur City called that review, and apparently it didn't go their way. So I'm only going from what the MC on-track is actually telling us. Okay, so we've got Sweetie Pig out there for the Bay City Rollers, coming up against Panel Beater for the Sulphur City Girls. Here goes Piggy, she's on the way through, she's lead jammer. So Panel Beater still pushing, trying to get her way through there. The gaps have closed up for her. Her teammates trying to help her out, but they're dropping off one at a time. They're all causing penalties. Meanwhile, Piggy, she's going around and scoring points as she goes. Oh, and Panel Beaters gets taken to ground. Oh, and Piggy goes to ground on the outside track there. Gets recycled to the back of the track, but she's calling it off as she goes back. Okay, so we've got Grim Sleeper out there for Bay City Rollers, coming up against Nuclear for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. Nuclear going to have to go out and sit out in the penalty box, so Grim Sleeper, she's got the time on track all by herself. So Sulphur City putting up some good blocking in front of her. Grim Sleeper finding it very hard. The gaps have all closed up for her. So here we have Nuclear joining back onto the track again. So that bit of a chance that she had there now been taken away from her. So Grim Sleeper been taken out to the inside track there. Here's Nuclear. She's made her way through, but there is no lead jammer at this point. So it looks like we're going to be having a whole 2-minute jam. And a completed star pass there to BT Butcher from Bay City Rollers, who she's now in control of the star. Nuclear. She's made her way through the pack. She's come back to join the back of the pack again now, this time back through. So BT Butcher still trying to find a gap to be able to get through with her star. Nuclear to push to the outside. And that's the end of that jam. Okay, jamming out there this time, we've got Boom Bunny out for Bay City Rollers. Looks like coming up against Kenkel Biter for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. Kenkel Biter trying to find the gap, but pushed out over the inside track. Boom Bunny did this exactly the same procedure at the same time. So both jammers trying to find it hard to find a gap. And Boom Bunny. She's made her initial pass. They haven't indicated to say whether she's lead jammer yet or not, but yes, she is. It has been indicated to say that she is lead jammer. Kenkel Biter been recycled to the back of the pack. She has got a star in her hand. And she goes to ground at the back of the pack there at the moment. Boom Bunny. She's come through. She's scoring points. Boom Bunny taken out to the inside track this time. Recycled back to the back of the pack. Kenkel Biter, she's made her way through the pack. And Boom Bunny pulls it off. Okay, jamming out there this time, we've got Crash Bambicoot coming up against Panel Beater. So Bambi out there for the Bay City. She's jumped straight through. She is your lead jammer. Panel Beater has been taken out to the inside track. She's been recycled to the back of the pack and has a star in hand. Meanwhile, Bambi scoring points as she goes. And an apex jump by Bambi, an awesome one all the way through. And Panel Beater being called out for cutting, so she's going to go out and sit out in the penalty box. Bambi, a bit of a chance to be able to score some points on track. But she's been recycled back to the back of the pack there. Bit of fancy footwork and away she goes all the way through. And she's calling it off. So we'll be starting in a power jam for this next jam. A little bit of track maintenance going on out there at the moment. So obviously the track getting a little bit of a beating in there at the moment because they've called an official review just to be able to get the track all sorted out with a bit more tape to be able to hold that rope down. Okay, and there's the official's whistle to be able to let us know we're getting back to doing some roller derby. So starting a power jam here for Bay City. Got Sweaty Pig on track. So they'll be trying to take advantage of this power jam and trying to get some points on the board. And as they've taken off there, we've got Panel Beater coming back on track now for Sulphur City Steamrollers. Sweaty Pig, she's done her initial and she's scoring points as she goes. And Sweaty Pig calling it off, doing a bit of strategies going on in there as well. Okay, your jammers out there this time is Nuclear. She is your lead jammer. You've also got Blonde Slambition out there as well. Nuclear in charge at this point. Here goes Blonde Slambition. She's done a great pass on the way through there. Although stepping out in the outside track. Looks like Nuclear had been recycled to the back of the pack. Blonde Slambition is still trying hard. This time she's through. Nuclear being recycled again. This time making her way through, calling it off. Okay, this time we've got jamming out there Grim Sleeper for the Bay City Rollers, coming up against Princess Di for the Sulphur City Steamrollers. And here she is, Princess Di. She is your lead jammer. Grim Sleeper going to go and sit out in the penalty box. She got called out. So Princess Di is the only jammer on track at the moment. Oh, and the blockers were supporting her, helping her out. So taking advantage of this power jam at the moment, and Princess Di doing a great job out there. And here comes Grim Sleeper back on track now. Oh, and Grim Sleeper making a great pass through there. And that's the end of that jam. So Princess Di doing an awesome job out there for Sulphur City. Okay, jamming out there this time, we've got Cankle Biter for Sulphur City Steamrollers coming up against Crash Bandicoot for the Bay City Rollers. And here goes Bambi, straight to the front. She is your lead jammer. Cankle Biter still pushing hard. Bambi made her way through, but then unfortunately got called, so she's off to the penalty box. So there's Crash Bandicoot's going to go sit out in the penalty box, so Cankle Biter. Okay, so what I can see now, we're with a star pass there by Sulphur City. It's Nat Demon has now got the star for Sulphur City. So Nat Demon unfortunately being called for that one and going to go to sit out in the penalty. It's going to go out to the back of the pack there. Being recycled down to the back. This time through. Scoring points as she goes. Bambi back on track. So Crash Bandicoot showing off her fancy footwork as she goes round through. Nat Demon being held up by the Bay City blockers there. This time through. Crash trying to help them out herself. So Bambi being recycled to the back of the pack. And that is the end of that jam. Oh, looks like the track might need a little bit more fixing by the looks of it. The old track gets a bit of a beating out there, I tell you. Okay, jamming out there this time. We've got Sweetie Pig for Bay City. Panel beaters out there for Sulphur City. And here's Sweetie Pig. She's been called, unfortunately. She's going to go and sit out in the penalty box. So Sweetie Pig to the penalty box. We've got Panel Beater out there for Sulphur City Steamrollers, putting the star back on her helmet. So she's been recycled right to the back of the pack. So she's got the whole lot to be able to get through at the moment. There she goes. She's Panel Beater taken on by Sweetie Pig. Sweetie Pig pushed her out over the outside track. And Piggy showing that she's in charge there. Panel Beater dusting herself off, keeping on going around the track. Here comes Sweetie Pig again. She's got a bit of pace on as well, so she's out there to be able to try and score some points. Oh, made her way through the pack. She fell to her knees briefly, but she's back. Looks like Panel Beater just skating around. She must be getting a bit tired out there, but Sweetie Pig coming up behind her. Sweetie Pig making her way around the outside. Panel Beater's gone to ground. And there's the path opening up for Piggy there as well. Another nice pass right away, on the way through. She's getting tired now. And she's waiting for that whistle to be able to blow. Yeah, looks like we may have one more if the... Looks like we've got about 20 seconds left to go in this match, so... And it looks like Sulphur City have actually called for a timeout, so... Okay, this referee's whistle just letting us know that they're ready to go again. For our last jam of this bout. Looks like we've got Boom Bunny out there for Bay City Rollers. And Nuclear out there for Sulphur City. And Nuclear staying on her feet, or however she got called. Referees making her go back out and sit in the penalty box. So Boom Bunny is the only jammer on track. So Boom Bunny being recycled right to the back of the pack. Oh, they're boinging her right the way back. And And here comes Nuclear. She's back on track. Boom Bunny being recycled right to the back of the track again. And pushed on the outside, pushed all the way back. She's going to be recycled right to the back of the pack yet again. Nuclear in the meantime, skating around the outside. And a big hit there on one of the Bay City girls. Looks like Boom Bunny has actually completed the star pass, so BT Butcher, she's now in control of the star. It's Damage Patch Kid, I'm afraid to say, sorry. I actually got the wrong person on that one, so Damage Patch Kid is the receiver of the star. And that is the end of that jam. So an awesome game there to be able to get the unofficial score there of 169 to Bay City and 119 to Sulphur City Rollers. So that is the unofficial score. So the on-track MC just indicating there that the Bay City Rollers are the official winners of this game here. So 169 points to 119.